If you're here right now, I want to speak directly to you. I want you to pause and recognize something subtle but profound. You are on the brink of something far larger than you may currently perceive. That long, heavy stretch of waiting, the sense of stagnation, the moments when it feels like nothing is moving forward, it's not meaningless. It's forming something within you, like a storm that churns the sky and clears the air, or a river that slowly carves a canyon through rock. These struggles are shaping a version of you strong enough, resilient enough, to carry success when it finally arrives. Stay with me for a moment, because what I'm about to share is not empty motivation or a quick fix solution. This is about seeing clearly why your struggle is evidence, not of failure, but of being on the cusp of breakthrough. The truth is, the longest stretches, the periods when the grind feels invisible, often come right before transformation. It's as if time itself slows, testing how much you truly want what you're reaching for. Imagine a student studying late at night, alone in their room, pages open, notes scattered, rereading the same lines, night after night. The repetition feels endless. The exam looms tomorrow, and still, the student cannot see if the hours spent preparing have made any difference. Or picture someone sending out countless applications, maybe dozens, maybe hundreds. The replies arrive as silence or polite rejection letters. Day after day, the world seems stagnant. Nothing changes externally. That is the waiting phase. It stretches you, tests your patience, and often feels heavier because progress isn't visible. You keep showing up. You continue pushing, but the feedback you long for is absent. It's like turning a key in the same lock repeatedly and never hearing the satisfying click. Fatigue grows. Doubt rises. You start asking yourself if maybe you've been standing at the wrong door all along. Your mind doesn't make it easier either. Studies show that humans underestimate their own progress when change is gradual. If growth isn't dramatic or instantly noticeable, we convince ourselves nothing is happening. That is why long plateaus feel endless. But invisible progress is still progress. What seems stagnant often hides profound development beneath the surface, changes the eye cannot yet detect. Waiting is not a void. It is preparation wearing the disguise of stillness. Picture a wooden beam supporting a house. Before the structure is ever visible, that beam is cut, shaped, sanded, treated. Most of the work remains unseen. The same is true for you. The waiting period builds endurance, strengthens consistency, and cultivates patience in ways you may not yet recognize. Nature illustrates this clearly. A seed buried in soil shows no outward sign of growth. On the surface, it seems inert. Yet below, roots stretch, weave, and bind into the earth. The darker the soil, the stronger the roots. By the time the sprout breaks the surface, the underground network is already established. In human terms, this is the waiting period, a hidden foundation forming even while you feel still. Frustration rising is not a signal of failure. It is a signal that change is approaching. Doubt does not visit those who have not started. It arrives for those who have been moving forward long enough to notice the gap between where they are and where they want to be. That pressure is evidence you are near the threshold. It presses only on those standing at the edge of transformation. If you've been turning that key long enough to feel fatigue, it shows you are already in position. The constant tension, the mix of hope and discouragement, is the mechanism preparing you for the moment the door opens. The heaviest part of waiting is often the clearest sign that internal foundations are shifting. The seed is about to break the soil. The door is about to click. This period forces you to grow roots that will support you when everything above finally emerges. The discomfort matters. It is not the end of growth, but the last step before change becomes visible. Consider why progress feels hidden during this stage. What if the struggle you feel is not a flaw, but a signal that your mind is expanding its capacity? Most people interpret struggle as a sign that something is broken, that they are falling behind. But often, struggle is growth happening quietly beneath the surface. Pressure challenges our old limits. stretching our inner systems beyond what we previously believed possible. This hidden movement is subtle day to day, but no less real. Consciousness is rarely binary. It is not simply awake or asleep, on or off. It operates more like a dimmer switch, with levels of awareness. Some days, your awareness feels sharp, bright as fully lit glass. Other days, it is muted, yet present. Struggle is one of the ways the dimmer rises. It nudges your awareness upward gradually, creating space for new perspective and understanding. Most of us measure growth externally. Did I get the job? Did the numbers increase? Did I achieve the outcome I sought? True, lasting success begins internally. It is shaped by your nervous system, your thresholds, and the way your thinking structures itself to meet challenge. External markers are signals, but they are not the engine. Your internal capacity, how you adapt, endure, and learn, is the engine. Consider animals and their learning. A crow presented with an unusual puzzle doesn't just react. It strategizes, reasons, problem solves. An octopus opening a jar uses flexible, goal-directed behavior. These are signs of awareness that stretch beyond instinct. Humans operate in the same way. Under pressure, we show creativity, patience, and problem-solving abilities previously dormant. Your current struggles are actively expanding your mind's capacity. Even if your effort seems invisible externally, there is a silent evolution happening inside. Your struggle mirrors physical training. Muscles tear at a microscopic level before growing stronger. Soreness and fatigue follow, but these are not signs of weakness. They are part of the mechanism that rebuilds strength. Your current challenges function the same way. Before resilience shows, fragility may dominate. Before capacity stabilizes, fatigue may feel heavy. This discomfort is not failure. It is growth in action. If you feel stretched beyond comfort, it is not punishment. It is proof that you are developing the ability to carry more, to handle responsibilities of greater scale. Without this phase, you wouldn't have the capacity to manage what's ahead. Your anxiety about readiness is itself a sign of preparation. Think of it as your mind installing new software, upgrading internal systems to handle more complex functions. This is why frustration, repetition, and stagnation often appear at the threshold of breakthrough. They do not indicate failure. They indicate preparation. When transformation is near, resistance intensifies. Paradoxically, it does not get easier as you approach success. That is why many abandon their path just before the finish line. Yet, the greatest growth occurs here. Setbacks and cycles of repetition carve out abilities that easy wins cannot. When things collapse, you are forced to adapt, rewrite strategies, and discover angles you would never have seen otherwise. Effortless success does not teach adjustment. Difficulty does. The problem-solving abilities you develop during these times are what will sustain you when opportunity finally arrives. The image of the seed breaking through soil illustrates this perfectly. In the early stages, it moves with relative ease, roots spreading through soft dirt. Yet, right before it emerges, the soil becomes dense, pressing back. That resistance is growth in disguise. The same applies to your life. If today feels heavy, if circumstances feel as though they press from every direction, it is not arbitrary. The soil is pressing against you because you are already against the top layer. The tension you feel is transformation about to emerge. Your progress may not be immediately visible, but the system is reconfiguring itself internally. Your models of self, your perception of capability, even your sense of identity, these are shifting quietly. While you may doubt your growth, your inner system is actively expanding to hold more than ever before. The harder the season feels, the stronger the evidence that release and transformation are near. Pressure mounts precisely because the distance you have traveled has brought you to the top of the threshold. That final resistance is a marker. It is not failure. It is confirmation that you have reached the point where change must occur. Recognizing this transforms how you experience waiting. It no longer feels like punishment. It becomes confirmation. Every delay, every setback, every repetition is a sign you are at the barrier designed to open when you are ready. So, if you feel stretched, exhausted, or uncertain, understand this. It is not the end of your story. This is the final pause, the stage before everything you've worked toward unfolds visibly. The strain you feel is shaping endurance, deepening patience, and widening perspective. Without this refinement, the success awaiting you would have no foundation. If this resonates, type "aware" in the comments. Let that word mark your recognition. You see the threshold. You are choosing to step through it. You are not stuck. You are preparing. The moment you have been waiting for is closer than it seems.